Yeah, I am recording now. Yes, I was about to do it. Okay. So in the last session, we were like I was facing issues setting up Jenkins on my like setting up Jenkins wasn't not an issue, but my VPC did not had internet connection, so I was not able to do it there. But I can always do it on another machine. Okay. But here there must be some. Okay, so I can use another region which will have internet connection for sure. Um, so so what I did is, as a workaround, I deployed Jenkins on my local machine. Okay, so it is running on my one of the Ubuntu machine I have on the system, and I installed Todo App CICD pipeline here. So I just went here and just created a new pipeline, and wow, during creating new pipeline, I passed the URL, okay, and I just need to pass the Jenkins file path. So once I have that, I was able to run this application. Okay, I was able to build this application and push it to Docker Hub, okay, Docker registry. So what now I will do is I will deploy this application. Okay, so till now we were doing publish step. Okay, so creating the infrastructure, setting up Jenkins, creating your application Docker image, and pushing it to Docker. So the next part is you. Okay, so now next part is you. How do you deploy it? Okay, so to deploy this application, what I will do is I'll update. I'll just enable my Jenkins file um, to do a deployment on my system. Okay, you know that there is a Docker Compose file here. Okay, and this Docker Compose file will deploy the application and run it on the machine. Okay, so Docker Compose, like when we learned about Docker technologies, the Docker Compose is a is a local dev environment. Okay, in the real environment, you would be using a Kubernetes YAML file. Okay, but the steps are same. Just like you are running Docker Compose up, you will be running kubectl apply. Okay, instead of Docker Compose. Um, so how do you add that part? How do you add a deploy part in your Jenkins file? So that can be done via same command. So I will what I'll do is it is doing a deploy here. Um, and let me just try to run it, and you will see how if it is deploying or not. So I already added this deploy to do application co part here, and it is taking the build tags and everything dynamically. Okay, so whatever how do we calculate build tags? Build tag is calculated based on the input you provide from UI. Okay, so we'll see what does it, how does it work. Okay, so it runs this one and whatever application. So let me just try to run it. I need to push it so that it gets checked in. Okay, perfect. And I go here. So one thing is I do a build now and it will start a build. I'm running after a long time, so I'm expecting it to take a little time. Starting a build here. Okay. And to confirm the application is not running, so I can just do localhost 330,000. So you see the application is not running. It's building the application. It's pushing the image. Okay. Now, when we last run it, we saw the same message: deploy to the application skip. Okay, and this is because you see here there is a condition called run deploy stage. Okay, there is a parameter we need to add a run deploy stage, and when this is true, it will run these steps. Okay, and how do we add this? So I will just copy this one. Okay, and we'll add it in the here. Okay, so we need to add one more flag here that will enable you to deploy this project. Okay, so I'll just say this one, and by default it is false. So deploy, optionally deploy. Generally, what do you do is, so your automation will have some checks. Okay, so you can always deploy in lower environment. Lower environment are easier to deploy. They should be they should not have much difficulty, much complexity when you want to deploy application. But when you go into production or deployment, there should be all the checks running. Like, so you should have some control on production deployment. So you will not have automation, fully automation enabled on the production workloads. So you should have some email check or some approval or some trigger that will ensure that the application, when it goes to production, it is thoroughly reviewed. Okay, and people know that it is going to production. So production deployment are controlled. Okay, and that is why people add flag like this. So I am adding a flag called run deploy stage, and when I check this, only then the application will deploy. Okay, for dev, you don't need to have this check. So those things also you can enable. Like if it is a dev environment, here I have only one expression here. You can have multiple expressions. Like if it is a dev environment, directly do deploy. But it is if it is a prod environment, make sure somebody checked this run deploy stage. So what I'll do, I'll just apply here, save it here, build with parameters, and now I will do the deployment. Perfect. Okay, first it tried to remove the to-do application, and then it deployed the to-do application again. And notice that the version of the to-do application is -10, and this is the application. This is the Jenkins job name, and this is the build ID. So by using Jenkins job name and build ID, I was able to get a unique tag for this application code. Okay, and now if I just do this, hopefully, what is the port? 3000. Let me see if it is okay. Local host. Okay, now you see the application is deployed. Okay, this application is deployed, but how do you so you see, right? I clicked this button, right? So I clicked a build button here. Okay, so generally you don't control the builds. So builds should be automated. So to automate the build, you make sure that your Jenkins file have there's a okay. So in Git plugin, there is a flag where it tells Jenkins to do automated uh, builds. Okay, so if you go to Git Jenkins plugin, okay, Git plugin, there is a poll. Okay, we'll enable the poll. Um, so what does poll do is, so if you see where is poll, if poll is false, then remote emissivity will not be pulled. If poll is true and is not set, the remote emissivity will be pulled for changes. What does it mean? Okay, so it means that whenever you do changes in your Git repository, the Jenkins will automatically trigger a build. Okay, and we will see this in an action. So what we need to do is we just need to say poll to true. Okay, so there is no default value here. It is the default value is false, and now we will set it here. Okay, so get branch is main, poll is true. Okay, of course you need to run this once so that it reflects into Jenkins file, Jenkins job. Enable polling. Okay, so I'll do this, and I have to run it once so that the changes get reflected. Okay, fine. Because I have enabled polling, you will see a button here, extra icon here, which will say get polling. Okay, it's not here. It will appear here after some time. Let me see if I'm polling the right app. Okay, it's the right app. Did I say update? Oh, I didn't push it. I need to run it one more time. You will notice that there is a new icon here. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll just update this document so that I can take out. Then is automated builds. Okay, sorry. Okay, this is a Jenkins job. Automated deployments. Okay. For automated deployments, enable polling in Git plugin, Git step of Jenkins. Okay, so generally you do. So this stage will change. Okay. And here you will say poll colon. Okay, so this is something you need to do. So once you do this, the Jenkins should check for changes in your repository every 10 minutes. Okay, this is the default behavior, which you can always change. Okay, so I'll go here, let it refresh it. Table polling is there. And now if I just configure it, I should see okay, it did not enable. Okay, I don't know why it did not enable, but you can always enable using this check. Okay? And there's a schedule here. I can enable for two. It will say every 2 hours. H by 2 star, and it runs every 5 minutes. Yeah, this looks good. Okay. Now you see a button here. So this, what does this mean is, it will just check if there is any change in the Git repository. So what I'll do is I'll just make changes here, and what I will change is I will just try to change this Todo app designed by Cloud Lab. Okay, so Cloud Lab is around 1 here. So what I will do is I'll go to the code, which okay, so let's see where we have cloud level. So I go here, designed by DevopsFarm team, and I'll commit this change along with the project handouts. Make changes. Okay, so make changes to see automated deployment happens or not. Okay. So this is really important for you, for any DevOps engineer, to know what happens when you check in the code. Okay, so when you check in the code, there must be many triggers. Okay, and if you're not aware of those triggers, you won't know what is going in the background. And this can be sometimes very I mean, the things can get complex. So when you're pushing changes into directly into here, I'm pushing changes into main. Okay, generally it is disabled. 99% of the time, you won't be able to push to main branch directly. There will be checks. So you need to create a branch, create a PR, and when you create a PR, it deploys into lower environments automatically. Okay, and when you when the tests are passing in the lower environment, then your code can be merged into main. And when you merge into main, then the another pipeline will get triggered, which will run a production deployment. So if you know this flow, right, this is something like, you know, that something like this happens in the CI/CD flow, then you can debug application or any issues during this in the CI/CD pipeline. Okay, so I pushed the code changes. Okay, so you see the last build was 12, and let me just go here and see the polling. So it did some check like 442. Okay, now it is 444. Let's wait for 3 more minutes, and you will see that another build will be triggered here. Okay, let's wait for 3 more minutes. I can reduce the timing. Okay, but generally that small 2 minute timing is something that Jenkins ignore most of the time. So I'm keeping it 5 minutes to make sure like it balances off. Okay, so while it is happening, okay, what I can show you is how do you enable Docker Compose in the Jenkins file. Okay, here we are running Docker run command direct, like Docker run command without any. I mean, these are like very raw command. If you have if you have an application that uses a database as well as front end as well as back end, so there are 3-tier application. You will be running 3 commands here. Okay, which is not very productive. And you know, there is a technology called Docker Compose, where you can write a file like this, where you can have 3 different application running here. So here we only have web application, front end application. Okay, but if you have a application that is based in which is like 3-tier application, to run them locally, you need to have 3 different containers running here, and they need to talk to each other. Okay, here here the image is something different, and we will see how to enable this image to use. I mean, this is hard-coded image, right? You cannot use hard-coded image from Jenkins. So what you need to do is we will make it dynamic so that it can pick the image that Jenkins is building. Okay, and then it need to deploy that image only. And so we will see that in a moment, and let's see if the Jenkins got triggered. Okay, so I'll just click on here. Still it is will take time. Yeah, so 1 more minute and we'll see what's up. Thank you. So we'll just refresh after some time when the Jenkins get triggered. Still waiting for it. Yeah, did I push? Yes, I pushed. Otherwise I would have missed it. Okay, I'm waiting for it to. So how many of you were able to set up Jenkins and run this pipeline? Anyone? Yeah, see, build number 13 got triggered. Okay, it's running. Okay, now what will happen is it will not trigger the deployment. Okay, and you know why? Because uh, the configure the default value of deploy is set to false. Okay, so this is set to false right now. So if I have to check in so that by default this pipeline will deploy the code. Okay, and now it hasn't deployed it. I have to trigger it again so that it can deploy. Let it deploy. See here, this will change to DevopsFarm. Okay, now you see it got changed to DevopsFarm. So this is this is how your CI/CD pipeline works. Okay, you you design your app, Jenkins pipeline so that it can fit into your DevOps. So like you so whatever we did here, not all thing will be implemented in a in a single pipeline. So we did it in single pipeline. There might be multiple pipeline for doing the process. Like one pipeline for building the Docker image, one pipeline for deploying the Docker image. Okay, and one pipeline for monitoring it, like if the to do the health check. Okay, so if the application is running or not. Okay, and one pipeline to notify that the new application got triggered. Okay, so here we like this application got registered, right? And now the next thing is I will enable this with Docker Compose. Okay, right now we are running plain Docker run command. Okay, and so we will do with Docker Compose. This is very simple. Okay, nothing special. So what I'll do is I need to pass this build tag dynamically here. Okay, so I need to pass the image name and so this is image name. Okay, image name, and this is my build tag, image tag. Okay, and so this thing we will pass, and we are using Docker Compose version. So you can find this file anywhere. It's easy to make this file. Okay, and what we do here is we pass. This is our image name. Okay, image name equal to this, and and image tag equal to this, and I need to run Docker Compose up -p. Okay. So what this will do is it will deploy the the same thing using Docker Compose. Okay. So I can just do Docker -compose or Docker Compose up will also do. Okay. So in this way, I don't need to do this. I don't need to remove any Docker image. Okay. But because the first time it is deployed in deployed using okay. So deployed using Docker PS. I will delete this Docker rm -f kudu. Let me do it. So I can remove this one. This is not required. And let's push this change. Okay, so I'll just push this one and Jenkins file. Okay, deploy using Docker Compose. Okay, so let me just push it. Perfect. Okay, it is pushed. Okay, so okay, I'm not doing anything. Just sitting here. I'll see if the polling is happening. It happened 52, like 1 minute back. Need to make sure. Okay, so I have to wait like 3-4 minutes. Okay. While it is happening, there is another thing that I generally give my student as a hands-on. So we are deploying everything with Docker. Okay, so it's plain Docker, nothing very challenging, nothing, right? So there's another tool, okay, which is used to host front-end application and back-end application, okay, which is called Vercel. Okay, so Vercel is a front end. Vercel is a platform where you can host your applications. Okay, generally, you can use this for hosting your website, your profile. I think I already introduced this with when we were talking about resumes. So here also you can deploy your application. Okay, and same thing. I also recommend student just to learn CI/CD. You deploy this thing. Deploy this application on Vercel. Okay, so okay, so what you need to do is I'll just paste everything here so that you can do it. Okay, so what you do is you need to deploy um, this Node.js application. Okay, this is a Node.js application onto Vercel by using these steps. Okay, so what you need to do is you need to prepare your Jenkins agent. Okay, with these steps, or you can also use Jenkins job to install all this thing and install Vercel, and then you do a Vercel in it, and then you need to pass these three thing. Okay, so you need to go to Vercel and create an account. Okay, and pass the Vercel token, create a Vercel token, and before that you need to create a project, and the project will have an org ID as well. So by default you will get a default project and default org ID. So you take that, fill in here, create a new token, fill in here, and this pipeline you can check in here to use it. Now, to run this, you also need a Vercel token in in the environment. Okay, so either you can pass directly, or you can add into uh, your Jenkins credentials. Okay, so using what with the name called Vercel token ID. So when you do this, your project, once you have this Jenkins pipeline configured properly, you can automate your deployment directly from Jenkins, okay, without being dependent on any third-party version. So Vercel can also do polling on your GitHub account, okay, or you can also use Jenkins to push your changes to Vercel. So I would like you to try this part, this project for student. So follow these steps whenever you get the next time. Like we already saw how Docker works, okay, how Jenkins file is working with Docker and Docker Compose. I would like you people to try this out, okay, from I mean as a practice project, okay. So um, okay, so this is something you need to try. I'll just keep it here. I'll check in this code. Let me check in. Okay. And if you need any help on this part, let me know. We will help you out. So this is, I'm just pasting it here so that you can track it out. Okay. Vercel project. Okay. So I would recommend you to create a fork again, and you can use. I'll create a PR for PR of this on Lalit's repo, so, and you can just do a pull. You will have all the changes from his repo, and then you can work on this Vercel project. Okay, let's see if our Jenkins deployed the changes. Okay, and it failed. It failed. Why it failed? Okay, build tag not found. Why? What wrong we did? Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't put it like this. My bad. Let me just commit this file. Yes, we got this one so that we don't get caught. Fix build tag. Okay. Not replay. It will automatically. Why do we need to trigger it? So when was it last triggered? 57. We still have time. Let's trigger it now so that we save some time. Okay, students. I think this was all from this project. Okay, now like this was the capstone project I wanted to show you. I wanted to cover Ansible as well, but because I don't have a proper AWS account, I don't know what happened this account. But if you can use Ansible to install Jenkins and configure Docker, these two things, and I can share you Ansible playbook file for that as well. I mean, how to set up a Jenkins on Ubuntu and how to set up Docker on Ubuntu. So those two things I can share you Ansible playbook. And if you can just try to run that Ansible playbook from a jump post, so you create a machine, AWS machine, you install Ansible there. Okay, I think I already have this Ansible 101 somewhere, right? So you can refer that. Let me open that. Where is it? Ansible. Think yeah, this one. So in this, we have Ansible demo folder, and here we have all the things. So, so I can share you a Ansible playbook that will install Jenkins and Docker file. Okay, and you can run this Ansible uh, on on the on the AWS machine where we have Terraform. Where is Terraform 101? Yeah. So using I use this one to set up Terraform long back. If you see here, main.tf, here you will see there is an Ansible demo here. So it installs Ansible one machine two. You can use the same code to set up two machines. One of the machine will act as a controller machine, and the other or you can use the machine that is started by GitHub as your controller machine, and then you can deploy application on two of the instances. So one you can call dev and one you can call prod. Okay, and here you will see you have a user data which installs which setup Ansible user, and then you can install all the required Ansible infrastructure. Okay, let's see if it got deployed. Yeah, it got deployed. I just need to refresh it, and it works as well. Okay. Okay, student. Any question from this project, or you want me to cover anything else here?
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yeah, Nikhil, please. Yeah.
When we run the code, I mean, we're not able to run the Jenkins server. I mean, it is not starting. It's not working.
Okay, so starting in the sense you ran. Okay, what did you run? So you ran this command. So I shared you this handout, and here we have a step here. Did you follow these steps? Where is it? Setting up Jenkins. Okay, I think in the Terraform code, you go to files, you see user data, and this is the way. So if did you follow this?
Yeah, yes, Seven. I mean, in the first place we have done right. The same error. I've been stuck there.
Okay, what is the error?
Not. I mean, I'm not logged in now.
Hmm. Okay, so the like if it is not running, one case is your Java you might not have Java installed there. Okay, and if it is Java, if Java is installed there, then the port that you are running, it is already occupied by some other server. So you might have a Jenkins already running, and then you are installing Jenkins again, and or maybe you have some Docker container running, which is holding that 8080 port.
Hmm.
So if you run this command systemctl service status Jenkins service Jenkins status. So if you see it is running, then it is running. So let's say I run this command service Jenkins status. So you see I need to do is with sudo, and I need to pass a sudo password. Now you say Jenkins is running. Okay, if it is saying Jenkins is stopped, or Jenkins is you see here Jenkins is not running, so then you need to run sudo Jenkins start command. Okay, and if you see any error, you will see error in verilog syslogs or verilog Jenkins logs, or you can also do a systemctl status Jenkins to know what is happening to Jenkins. But if you can give me the specific error, I can help you out.
Okay. Okay, sir. I'll try and I'll post you there.
Yeah, you post me the error. Right? Yeah, in the group, I can help you out, and so that
Okay.
other can also benefit from that error.
Yes.
Anuradha, Yashaswini, did you try setting up Jenkins? I know Anuradha, you tried. Did you get any luck?
No, I'm stuck on that point only that I have sent you.
Okay. So I'll ask. So okay. So whenever you get a chance, you can just visit, or like I can help you. with the setup, or I can ask Lalit to have a small debugging session. What is happening there, or you can send me the error again. I know what is the error. You send me the error, right? I think this is the error, right? What if I open it here? Okay, no, this video will go public. Sorry. Okay, so your error was okay. You didn't send it here. Okay, so your okay. So what you need to do is you need to set up your AWS credentials. That is one thing. Another, yeah. So one thing is you need to set up AWS credential, and once you do that, you should be able to spin it up. So this is the first thing I can see. I see that your AWS credentials are not set up.
Okay, I think I should try again, and if I find any problem, I will let you know.
Yep. So don't try very hard. It's really it can go very complex. Like it can take ages. Like if you stuck it anywhere in this thing. So just try to take help from me or anyone from the invented group. They might also they might have faced the same error, so they can help you out. So just take help from group. I will also try to help. There are people like I mean Lalit will also try to help. So just post any question, or not for everyone. So if you're trying, just post your errors question in the group, and we will try to help you. And uh, so yeah, it should be genuine for sure. Like yeah, not a spam kind of thing. We will help you out. So I want you to complete at least one any one of the capstone project by yourself, so that you can get like a little bit of hands on what we did. Okay. All
So I
right.
wonder, so I wonder,
Yeah.
can
Yep.
we use
Please.
our root account for this? I mean, to configure AWS.
Yeah. You can use it,
Okay.
but I prefer yeah, it is your account, right? You can use root account.
Okay.
Generally, generally companies will not give you root account, so you have to create a IAM user and then credential from there. So that is a preferred way. So why I was asking you to create IAM user is it gives you a hands-on on IAMs as well.
Okay.
So you won't have your root user all the time. Only for your account you have your root user, but for corporate you will get only your user, and you can create IAM credential from there.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
So I
Any
mean,
other? Yeah.
we
Nikhil,
need
please.
an updated codes. I mean, which you have changed all these things today. Can you please share with us? I mean, you have to approve the
Yes.
request from Lalit, and I guess.
Yes, I need to raise PR there. Where is my to-do app? Why it is not showing my to-do app? Okay, I need to go to that project. Let me go to home, and seriously, to-do is here. And I'll go to PR request. New PR request. I'll create a PR. Updated core to deploy. Okay, while it is creating, I can do one more thing so that you don't need to add the this property. So this property you can always add here, and it will the pipeline will add it for you. Okay, so how to do it is, so we are using declarative Jenkins pipeline, and we now want to add parameters. So search for it, you will get a pipeline syntax thing. Okay, and when you go down, you just say parameters. Okay, and you can find parameters like this. So you can just copy this. We are using Boolean parameter. So let me see where it is after agent. It doesn't matter where is it, but we are using a Boolean parameter. Okay, and so we'll just use where this is the Boolean parameter, and default value is true. Deploy automatically. Okay, so once you create a Jenkins pipeline, it will automatically add this variable for you. So you don't need to add it manually. Okay, so poll true, it is not working. So we can enable polling via Jenkins. So let me see if poll SCM, this is the thing. And how do we enable poll? So you just say here, poll SCM. So this one you can add. So once you add this, it will automatically add poll. So I'm adding this as well, so that you don't need to worry about it. So triggers going to here. Okay, so this is a pipeline syntax. I'll share you with this thing, but you can always find it. It's not very hard to find. There are now plenty of tools available. Okay, so I'll copy. I have copied already. Whole SCM. So this, I mean, you remember, right? What I did is I went to configure, and two things I did. I added this Boolean parameter myself. Okay, I'll close this one, and I also enable this one, right? So I'll just close this one as well. Okay, so what I'll do is these two things will be enabled by my Jenkins already. So I'll just paste it here. Instead of 5, I will make it 2 so that it will run every 2 minutes. Okay, I'll just push it. Add, just to make it beautiful. Add poll SCM and parameter in Jenkins 5. So once you have it in Jenkins 5, so this feature is only available in declarative pipeline. Okay, I'm not big fan of declarative pipeline, but yeah, so this is okay. Okay, so when I need to build it again so that it will enable. So now you see only build now is there, but as soon as it runs, you see a build with parameter came up. Okay, if I go to configure, you will see a Boolean parameter got added here, and now this is automatically enabled. Now poll SCM is automatically enabled as well. Okay, so so when you enable this pipeline in Jenkins, you just need to configure the SCM and Jenkins file. That's it. It will automatically add all the thing that is required for this job. Okay, I updated this code. You should get this code here as well. So I think Jenkins file will be automatically updated. Yeah, trigger here, Boolean parameter here. Okay, I'll ask Lalit to merge this. He will merge it and you can take it. Or you can also go to pull request and take it from there. Okay. Okay. Anything else? Okay. And Nikhil, Anuradha, Yashashwini. Okay, my mic was not working. Oh, okay, perfect. No, not issue. Okay, this issue. Anything else you want to ask? Query. So this was like the last session today from this class. And I will be open for any queries you have when you try this project yourself, and for anything that you need in future, like any help, so you get that as a complimentary from this class, from this course. So any resume help, and if you want to have references, if I get any references, you guys will be first, not guys, you all will be my first preferences for any references. So just be in sync, and we'll share you the certificates we will, so at last, so we have one more thing pending. Okay, so that will be a assessment for you. So it will be MCQ questions. So you will be, so we will host a MCQ assessment for all of you. You will go through it. We will see how you performed there. Don't use ChatGPT. So we will know that you're using ChatGPT if you're. Once you complete that, we will share certificates with you. Okay. Anything else like you want me to ask? Like,
So I have one question.
yeah, please.
Create a new code space for this, I mean, to start start over this project, or can we continue in the old code space?
You can continue with the old space. Yeah.
Because we have some errors, because we have even that Jenkins error also. So will that be, I mean, one
Will
more?
not have. No, it will not affect. So just do a git pull. You will have a latest code. You will not have error. So if it is at a, so just let me know if you face error. I will try to find what is the issue. Okay.
Okay, so thank you.
Or you can clean up the space and you can try it with a new code space. It's also fine.
Okay, sir.
Whichever works for you. Okay, so with that note, I'll stop this. I stop the sharing. I need to stop the